Hello viewers, welcome once again to today's lesson. This is the Solution Space, the platform where mathematics is made easy and simple for everyone to understand and enjoy. In this video, I want us to continue with the perimeter and area of plane figures that we started in the previous videos. In the previous videos, we started learning about the perimeter and area of plane figures, where we handled a particular type of plane figure, which is the rectangle, in the previous video. So we explained into details the perimeter of a rectangle and also the area of a rectangle, and we went ahead to also solve some examples on the perimeter and area of a rectangle in the previous videos, and we've done a lot of examples on it, and I hope you all understood it and you enjoyed the lesson as well. So in this video, I want us to handle another plane figure. As I said to you in the previous video that we have many plane figures. Okay, so we started with a rectangle, which we've solved many examples on it in the previous video. So in this video, I want us to handle another plane figure, which is the square. Okay, so I will advise that you watch the previous videos, okay, because the previous videos lays the foundation. Okay, so do what to watch the previous video so that you get the foundation that you need to be able to handle this session as well. So as you can see from the board, I've written perimeter and area of a square. Okay, so before we go ahead, I have to do a quick explanation of what a square is. Okay, then we can proceed and solve questions. Okay, so now you can see this is the diagram of a square as I've drawn on the board. Okay, so this is the diagram for a square. Okay, so a square is a plane figure which has all sides to be equal. Okay, so that is the simplest definition you can give to a square. Okay, so a plane figure which has all sides to be equal. So from the board, so you can see that having this mark here, the same mark is being repeated at all sides of the square. Okay, so it means this side is the same as this side and equal to this side as well, and the same as this side. Please hope you are getting the explanation. Okay, so I said that a square is a plane figure which has all sides to be equal. Okay, so that is the simplest definition you can give to a square. Okay, so you can see that looking at this diagram, we have all the sides to be equal. Why am I saying all the sides are equal? Because this mark here, you have the same mark being repeated at each side of the diagram. Okay, so meaning that if here is, let's suppose here to be 4 centimeters, it means here will also be 4 centimeters, here will also be 4 centimeters, and here will also be 4 centimeters. Okay, so that is it for a square. It has all sides to be equal. Okay, so in this video we are going to derive the formula for finding the perimeter of a square and also the area of a square. As you can see from the topic, we are going to handle the perimeter and area of a square. Okay, so we are going to derive the formula for finding the perimeter of a square and also the area of a square. Now, just a quick recap on what perimeter is. I've done a detailed explanation of perimeter and area in the previous videos. Okay, so I just want to do another recap on it. Okay, so that if you are watching for the first time, you don't get confused. Okay, so now when we say perimeter, the perimeter of any plane figure simply refers to the distance around the plane figure. Okay, again, the perimeter of any plane figure simply refers to the distance around the plane figure. So the summation of the distance around the plane figure is what we call its perimeter. Okay, so with this diagram, which is this square, okay, the perimeter is the distance around it. Okay, so the summation of all the distance around it, it's what gives the perimeter. Okay, so if I'm to find the perimeter of this square, which is a plane figure, it's going to be this side plus this side plus this side plus this side. That's how you will get the perimeter. Okay, please hope the explanation is clear enough. in simple terms, perimeter of any plane figure is just the distance around it, the summation of all the distance around the plane figure. Okay, now when we talk about the area of a plane figure, okay, so we are dealing with a square here. Okay, so the area of this square simply refers to the space it occupies. Okay, so the area of any plane figure is just the space the plane figure occupies. Okay, so again, the area of any plane figure is the space the plane figure occupies. Okay, so the space occupied by this diagram, okay, is what we call the area. Okay, so here it's a square. Okay, so the area of the square refers to the space inside the square. Okay, the space it occupies, that is what refers to as the area. Okay, please hope the explanation is clear enough. So now let's go ahead and derive the formula for finding the perimeter of a square and also the area of a square. So now I've explained to you that a square is a plane figure which has all sides to be equal. Okay, in the case of this one, this is a square. Okay, so now if here is length, okay, so I'll label this place length. Okay, and I will use capital L to represent the length. Okay, mostly we use capital L to represent the length. So this is length, then into brackets L. Please hope you are following. Okay, now being it a square and it has all sides to be equal, okay, so if here is length, it means all the other sides is also going to be length. Okay, because we've established that a square is a plane figure which has all sides to be equal. Okay, so if this side is L, which is length, okay, then it means here will also be L, which is length, and here will also be length, and here will also be length, because we said a square has all sides to be equal. Okay, so having this side to be length into bracket L, okay, the L represents the length. Okay, so it means that this side will also carry L, okay, and this side will also have L, and the same applies to this side also. So all the sides will have L, okay, because a square is a plane figure which has all sides to be equal. Please hope you are getting the explanation. Okay, so having one side to be length, okay, which is L, it means all the other side will also carry the same thing. Okay, so if here is L, here will also be L, here will also be L, and here as well it will be L. Okay, now let's now derive the formula for the perimeter of a square. Now we said that the perimeter of any plane figure is simply the summation of the distance around it. Okay, so now let's go ahead, let me write my perimeter. Okay, so my perimeter into brackets P. Okay, so perimeter into brackets P is going to be the summation of the distance around it. Okay, so let's start from the top here. Okay, so I have L here, then it means here is also, I'll add it to this side because we will add all the distance around it to get the perimeter. Okay, so this L plus the L here, okay, so the distance here plus the distance here plus this distance, okay, the distance at the down here, then plus the distance here, so plus another L. Please hope you are following and you get the explanation. Nothing difficult about this. We are saying that the perimeter of any plane figure is simply the summation of the distance around it. Okay, so starting from here, the distance here we've labeled it L. The distance here too we've labeled it L because it's a square, it has all sides to be equal. So if the distance here is L, here is also going to be L. The same applies to this side and the same of this side as well. Okay, here is also going to carry L. Okay, so for us to get the perimeter, it is the summation of all the distance around the diagram. Okay, so we are going to add this plus this plus this and plus this as well, and that is going to give us the perimeter of the square. Okay, so that's why I have L plus L. So this L plus the L here plus the L here, then plus the L which is here. Okay, and that gives us the perimeter. Now we are going to apply the knowledge of algebraic expression here, okay, because these are like terms that we can simplify. Okay, so having L plus L plus L plus another L, it's going to give me 4L. Okay, so our P equals 4L, and that is the formula for finding the perimeter of a square. Okay, so the formula for finding the perimeter of a square is simply 4 times the length of the square. Okay, so we have our P equals to 4L. Okay, please hope you understood the explanation. Now let's go ahead and talk about the area, okay, of a square. Okay, now the area of a square, let me continue from here. Okay, so the area into brackets A of a square is just one of the length, the horizontal length here, okay, times the vertical length. Okay, so if you pick one of the horizontal length times one of the vertical length, it gives the area. Okay, so I can pick this side times this side, or it can pick this side times this side. It gives the same thing. Okay, since all sides are equal. Okay, so you pick one of the horizontal lengths times one of the vertical lengths, and that gives the area. Okay, so our area equals length times length. Okay, now let's apply the knowledge of algebraic expression that we learned here. I've already taught you algebraic expression, so if you are struggling with the simplification, please, it means you don't have understanding of algebraic expression. And the good news is that I've taught that. Okay, so search for the videos on algebraic expression and learn about it so that you can easily handle this one. Okay, so now let's continue. So I will have my area equals length times length gives me L squared. Okay, so this is the formula for finding the area of a square. Please hope the explanation was clear enough and you understood it as well. I'll be back on your way again in another video whilst we solve questions on the perimeter and area of a square. Please don't forget to like the video and also share the video. Bye bye.